What up, homies? It's your boy Stev, and welcome to the bracket. Back in 2020, like most of the world, me and Ash didn't have a lot going on, so we decided to make a list of the 130 greatest movies of all time and pit them against each other, tournament style, to see which ones came out on top. We judged them against each other in 5 categories: production, writing, acting, originality, and rewatchability. Whichever movie took the most categories moved on. Don't get me wrong, it was rarely unanimous between us, but it was always a lot of fun. Just a heads up, we did record these a few years ago, so if the timeline feels a bit weird, that's why. If you want to check out the list of the 130 movies, I'll put a link to our website in the description below. So without further ado, let's all go back to the land of 2020, where all we did was sit at home, drink excessively, and watch flicks. Enjoy. So where's the other one?
Behind me.
Oh, I see.
But I have one on my hand. Both of our hearts went. Okay. I am finally ready.
Rocky Horror and Spinal Tap!
Oh, damn.
That was pretty good, right?
That was nice.
That wasn't bad. I feel good about that.
Yes, Rocky Horror and Spinal Tap.
What did you think?
Both movies I have not seen before.
No?
So this was my first time seeing both.
Okay. What'd you think?
Obviously I've heard of Rocky Horror over and over in my life.
Yeah.
The stupid dances, I know.
Oh, 100%. And here's the thing, like, Rocky Horror Picture Show has this insane cult status.
Right.
Like, it is such a big cult status that when you watch it, I can't help but to think, like, why do so many people love this movie?
So that was my entire thought watching the movie.
It's like, this is such a bizarre movie. But is it like, you ever hear that movie, The Room?
No.
With Tommy Wiseau. They made like the Disaster Artist, kind of like based off of The Creation. It's this movie that is widely like deemed the worst movie of all time, but like people love it.
Okay.
Like there are screenings all the time of this movie.
Cabin in the Woods is that for me.
No, see, well, Cabin in the Woods is amazing.
I fucking hate that movie. So, not as much as Blade Runner. Blade Runner is up there. But Cabin in the Woods.
But I don't know, like, maybe that's it. Maybe it's, like, so bad it's good. But I don't think so. I think people love Rocky Horror. I think it's one of those things. And here's the thing. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Like, I don't know why. Yeah. I couldn't even tell you what the movie's about, really. Like,
it's about nothing.
But, like, from the opening credits, when those lips came on and they started singing, I was into this movie. I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I love the opening credits, which is actually the best song in the movie, weirdly. The one with, like, the lips sing. I couldn't even tell what the song was. Other than the Time Warp. That's a spectacular
That's
song.
the only song I know.
But at the same time, This is Spinal Tap is a fantastic movie. Like, nobody made movies like that before that. Like, the mockumentary, like, it's a fake band, but, like...
It is. Oh, wait. I know there is a Spinal Tap band, but is that because of the movie, or is that the actual fake band?
I actually don't know.
That has a Wikipedia page.
You might.
So I'll Wikipedia it while we talk.
Okay, but like, here's the thing. Like, before that, nobody did the mockumentary. Like,
right.
That was fresh. Like today, you have The Office, Modern Family, Parks and Rec. You know what I mean? Which are like the fake documentary.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if shows like that would be around if it wasn't for Spinal Tap. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, that's fair.
And like, but, I don't know. I think it's a great movie. It's a great like start to a genre, and I love the music in both of these movies. But I gotta throw it out there right off the bat, just because I don't know what it is about it. Again, I don't know what the fuck it's about. I don't know. I really liked Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like, watching This is Spinal Tap was fun.
Okay.
And I love like the little misadventures they get into, like when they're on stage, and like I loved the opening and closing of the thing. I thought that was hilarious. I love the dude rocking out so hard that he can't get up, and the dude has like hilarious. I thought like something like that very funny.
The Stonehenge, obviously, is the most iconic part because she's like No, that's what he put. And he meant 18 feet.
Yeah.
And he put 18 inches.
But you can see, like, you see him do the drawing, and the first thing, because I don't know, I work in tools, right? So the first thing I thought is, oh, fuck, he wrote 18 inches.
Yeah.
So, and like, I think the best part of the whole movie, in my personal opinion, is them trying to find the stage. Like, they're walking around, they're so pumped. They're like, yeah, we're going on this stage, yeah. And then they're like, okay, maybe it's this way. Okay, yeah, we're going. And then they see that guy, and he's like, all right, you go 2 rights and left, and you go up the stairs. And then they, like, go around a corner and come back, and they find the guy again. It's hilarious. I think that's the best part of the movie for me. I think the movie's very funny, and Rob Reiner directed the fuck out of this movie. I think it was great, but I don't know. There's just something that's so weird about Rocky Horror that I like. I don't know.
You have seen both before this?
I have seen both before this. Yes,
okay.
Yes. I will admit I haven't seen Spinal Tap in a while. I saw Spinal Tap when I was in high school. I had a friend who was super into it, so like I watched it a couple times with him, and then it just so happens Rocky Horror I watched about 2 years ago.
Oh, you're a late bloomer as well with this movie.
Yeah, it was at a Hollywood Halloween horror movie marathon. And it was one of the movies played.
Okay.
So I watched it because of that. You know what I mean? I was like at this horror movie marathon,
right.
and it fucking plays so well in the crowd. It's just the crowd is, and everybody's just great. Tim Curry is spectacular in this.
Well, my mother and I have been trying to get tickets for the theater, which I think is closed, unfortunately.
Yeah, they did close because of the pandemic.
Yeah, but because of the pandemic. But we have a theater near us called O Canada A, and apparently this show, they will announce the dates, and it's sold out that day.
Really?
And they've been doing this since I can remember, since I was a kid. And it's so funny. The best part about it, now that I'm an adult and I'm like 30 now, I know the people that work there. So I know the guys who are in lingerie, and I know their wives very well.
Yeah.
So it's just hilarious, like thinking, but I've never seen it because I can't get tickets. That's real. I just can't get tickets.
Yeah.
I've tried every year, and I even have free tickets I did before they closed. I took their table as a server, and they gave me free tickets. I'm like, I'm going to save this for Rocky Horror. Never went. So I've never actually seen the movie until now. Spinal Tap I found to be very underwhelming.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't find it funny or nothing.
And here's the thing. So
it dragged.
Yeah. So I apologize for stepping on your toes on that one. But yeah. So like I said, I saw it before, so watching it now was nothing really new. But if you find any list of like the greatest musicals of all time, or like at least music movies of all time, it's on there. 100. Yeah. Like This Is Spinal Tap is on there. So even though I've seen it, I was actually surprised by how underwhelming it was for me as well this time. But
well, what movie did you watch first?
I watched. Oh, that's a good question. I watched Spinal Tap first, actually.
Not like in your life, like
no,
this
time I watched Spinal Tap.
Oh,
first.
See, I watched Rocky Horror right before it. Like I watched all my movies, bang, 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 bang in a row.
Oh yeah. And
I think Rocky Horror was first. I think that might have killed it.
Okay.
For me, as I said, I've never seen Rocky Horror. I know quite a bit about it already. Yeah. The movie, I don't know how on earth I kind of enjoyed it. I don't know how. Yeah. And I can't explain why, just like you. There's no fucking goddamn reason. I really enjoyed it.
It's even like weirdly long, and I still enjoyed the fuck out of it. Like
there was so much you can cut, and there's odd scenes that when I'm watching it, I'm like, why is this in here? Yeah. Anyways, we'll talk about that spoilers, but yeah, there are parts that I'm like, this shouldn't even be in here. Why is this in here? It makes no sense. You could see they had no direction. The direction of the movie was, the main focus, but there was no fillers.
Yeah.
Once they did what the movie was about, then they were like, oh, we still have another hour left.
I agree. So, point-wise, I think it's obvious where I'm going with this. Point-wise, I had to give... I actually gave writing to Spinal Tap, but everything else I had to give to Rocky Horror. I mean, its production design is something super interesting. And I think it went on to inspire other people. If you look even like at like 90s like Tim Burton movies and like The Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff, I kind of feel inspiration from. And don't be wrong, Rocky Horror is obviously inspired by other things like the Munsters and you know, the Universal horror movies and shit from like the fucking 20s, right? But I don't know. I like the production. I think it's original as fuck, but it's because it's so balls to the wall out there. Like it's so like you can't. Like there's at no point could I tell you where that movie was going.
Neither could I.
No,
but yeah, I did the same thing. So. Just to recap on the 5 points: producing, story, acting, you know, rewatchability, originality. They got all 5 for me.
Oh, you did 5 for 5?
Yeah, I did not like. I think that's why I just didn't enjoy Spinal Tap. I almost gave originality because at the time, I don't know if there was many movies, a mockumentary, as you said. Like I don't know if there was many movies about it.
This was the thing that started it, really.
But then I remembered the storyline of Rocky. And I was like, okay, I gotta give it. Like that. You're right. That storyline is just so. What?
It's so silly.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gave it 5. I gave Rocky Horror 5 too.
Nice.
Well, you gave it 4.
4, but still, it's got a lot of points. So Rocky Horror, you're moving on. I'm sorry, Spinal Tap. You know.
I'm not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. All right, next up, spoilers. 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 Spoilers.
One day we're gonna get sick of doing that.
Oh my! I'm never gonna get sick of doing that. Rocky Horror and Spinal Tap. Which movie had the better music?
I don't know why I wasn't ready for that question. I think Rocky Horror kind of moved my body differently. I was kind of like, I could dance to this. Yeah. Yeah. I also haven't heard Spinal Tap at a wedding, so.
The fact that you heard Rocky Horror at a wedding is funny.
they play that Time War.
Oh, that's an amazing song. Did you know that song was just padding? Like, that song wasn't... I don't think it was in the original stage show.
Time Warp again.
They literally just made that song.
What? That's the only song I knew before I watched the movie.
I know.
I even knew the dance. That's how much. I don't dance at weddings, but people unfortunately taught me. You know, so that's, yeah, I get the question. That's a hard one. Because for its time, I guess Spinal Tap was like the normal.
Yeah. I think Spinal Tap, their music's just too real.
It sounds like every other fucking band that I've heard.
At least Rocky Horror, it's like original, right?
Da, 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 da. Like the song is just so ridiculous. Yeah, I like Rocky Horrors better.
Yeah, I hear you.
I did find a few things funny about Spinal Tap. Now that we're in the spoiler section. Their sexy cover that got declined. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is hilarious. When you hear the guy, like, explaining it, and he's like, well, it's a greased woman, and she's on all fours, and she has a leash on. And the guy is, like, shoving his black glove in her face to smell it. You can't have that cover. And all I think about is Lil Nas that just got released, and he's literally, like, penetrating the devil. Like, yet, that was not okay for this time.
Yeah.
But now that's a whole sex craze. That is normal now.
It's very funny because, like, in Spinal Tap, that was a joke.
Right.
Like, that cover was so ridiculous, and that was the joke. So the fact that, yeah, you're right.
Yet now, and yet later on, the one guy, his cover was accepted because it was him who was chained up and who was the, you know, being the whatever, abused, and that was acceptable because it was him who's being abused, not because he was exploiting a woman. Yeah. And I found that so funny that you're right. Like, back then it was like I can't believe they tried that. And now I'm like, okay, I see people on leashes probably the New York subway all the time. Like, it's normal. What?
No, it's true.
I found that funny. It just brings like a whole era difference. Oh.
Well then.
I think that was a lot louder to you than it was to me.
Yeah. No. So it's a shame Spinal Tap, not moving forward. Listen, these two movies, two of the best cult movies ever created. Like, if you come across any list of the best cult movies ever, these two are 1 and 2. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10. And there's a lot of good to say about both of them. I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, so Rocky Horror Picture Show, Tim Curry's first movie.
Oh,
like
he did very well.
Yeah, like he was in the stage version. So obviously Rocky Horror was maybe not obviously, but Rocky Horror was a stage play before it was a fucking movie, right?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so it's actually a super interesting story. So the guy who made the movie, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, was offered an insane budget for it. Like Hello. Sorry. He was offered an insane budget for it. So, insane budget, insane work schedule. Like, he could fucking make the movie that he wants to make as long as he cast famous musicians in the roles. So, as like the Tim Curry role, Mick Jagger. Do you know what I mean? As someone else, like Cher. Do you know what I mean? Like, Meatloaf would probably be one of them. Like, so that was 20th Century Fox's plan, and he ended up taking a pay cut in order to get Tim Curry, and the guy who plays Riff Raff, the girl who plays Magenta.
Which is good, though, because that's who made the movie.
100%. And that's what he said, right? He's like, when I made the play, it was just like a fucking treatment. These people helped me make it what it is, so I can't fucking abandon them now, which I respect the fuck out of.
Imagine the movie without Tim Curry.
No, it's true.
Hilarious.
He's fucking genius in the movie, right?
It looked like you had Tim Curry and you wrote the play around Tim Curry. That's what it looked like. Like, he didn't look like he fit a character. He was the character. How are you going to put that character in something? Is what it seemed like.
No, it's true. The only compromise the director ended up making was that the two leads had to be American. Because apparently everybody else is European. I don't know.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. So, super interesting. Also, another thing I found out about the Rocky Horror Picture Show, when it came out, movie bombed.
Oh.
Didn't do very well at all. And then somebody decided to play it at midnight, like a midnight showing, and everybody showed up to it. So they started doing it regularly. And now, fucking decades later, it is the longest running movie in history. It's been playing since 1975. They do midnight showings all the fucking time.
That's kind of fun.
Super interesting. And they got little, like, fun rules. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. So, like, I only know a few, and I know they're all different. I know, like, Broadway is different than movies or whatever. For example, like, when they're getting married, you're supposed to throw rice. And there's, like, a cheers, and I guess you're supposed to, like, that's when you throw the toast or something like that in one of the dinner scenes.
Okay.
But there's, like, a whole list. I could name them all, but it's just, like, the most absurd. When they're running in the rain, you're supposed to have like little water guns shooting in the air, and you're all supposed to cover your hair with newspaper. Like, the whole thing. Oh, the party makers. When they're all with the party makers, you're supposed to have a party maker. It's insane. And I knew about these before I even watched the movie. That's how popular they are. Mm-hmm. It's so ridiculous. Like, whenever you go see it live, they give you a little goodie bag, and all these things are in this goodie bag. And it's like, what?
Toast.
It's included. You're like, what? Yeah, it's just like a normal thing. And without it, you're just an idiot, pretty much.
Yeah, there's this movie that came out fucking probably like 20 years ago called The Room. Often considered one of the worst movies ever created. But something similar happened to that, where they do like midnight showings all the time of this movie. Often like titled the worst movie ever created. Like, it's that bad.
But it's the same thing where you like throw forks at the screen and shit like that. Like, I think it's so funny. Like, I love, and because of this fucking situation we're in, I miss watching a movie with a lot of fucking people.
Right.
Like an audience, right? Because I love that experience of that interactive experience. Like, I don't know. It's like, it reminds me of, I remember going to see the movie Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. It was like, so the second prequel movie. I was probably like 13. I was pretty young, maybe 14, 15. And I remember we went to a midnight showing of that. And people were like dressed like Darth Vader. It was like fucking packed. It was sold out. People were sitting on the stairs. It was like crazy, right? And I remember near the end when Yoda walks out. I don't think this is much of a spoiler, but so Yoda walks out and him and Darth Tyrannus are like going at each other with lightning. And Yoda says like, "Oh, our powers are too matched. We can't like beat each other like this." And then one of them's like, "I guess we have to settle this with lightsabers then." And then Yoda busts out a lightsaber. I have never seen a fucking audience go crazy but like that before.
Well, that's like the green ones. I never really seen Star Wars. I know the green ones are like the most powerful lightsabers. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I mean, it's the side of the Jedi, right? Only the Jedi have green lightsabers.
Right? Really?
Yeah.
I thought Yoda had like his own.
No.
Because he's like... No. So like,
well, he's a Jedi, so
see,
I
told you I suck. My favorite is Episode 1. If that doesn't say anything, there you go. Okay.
Don't tell people that.
Yeah, no. What I tell people all the time, they get so mad. But the best when they argue, trying to change my mind, but I don't care enough. So the perfect explanation of that is, again, no spoiler section, but like I always see the YouTube videos of the Avengers Endgame, the ending. In the movie theater.
Oh my god.
And just like the reactions. But whenever you're in that, I had goosebumps now. Just like when you're in that room with all those people and you're feeling this emotion, it's like the most intense.
I gotta actually. There's another audience reaction that I think is probably the best audience reaction I've actually ever seen. Like, this is my favorite.
Me and you have stood up and we were so like astonished at the end of Saw. I remember that.
Oh, that one was.
Both of us were like
mind blowing.
standing up like.
What just happened?
What?
No, the best actually. So without spoiling the end, I'm gonna dance around this best I can. The movie The Mist, not the ending, because that's also crazy. But all I'll say is there's a particular character who dies, and I remember the character dies, and then the crowd. It was full. It was an opening night, full theater, and there was a silence. And then all of a sudden somebody yelled out, "Thank fucking God." And then somebody else stood up and just started slow clapping. Yes. And then the entire audience stood up and started clapping. It was the best audience reaction I've ever seen.
I know exactly what character. Thank God they killed her off.
Yeah.
That. And people always ask me, like, because I have seen a lot of movies. I haven't seen any actual good movies. I've seen crappy ones. And people say, like, what is the greatest ending to any movie you've seen? And I thought it was The Mist. I always think of The Mist.
It's
first.
a really good
that ending and Saw, those two endings were just so like, it was so out of this box. I've never heard of. I can't believe a human thought of those.
I see. Saw had a great ending because it was like gasp on top of gasp on top of. It was like.
In that last 5 minutes, you're just so like...
You're like, what the fuck?
My God.
Like, and I don't even want to get into it because it's the ending of the movie.
I gotta watch that movie now.
That's a fucking awesome movie. Not on the list, surprisingly.
I almost
it
threw
wouldn't
it on there. Be, though. It's not that
It's a really good movie, though. And that's why, I don't know.
It was first for, like, the most movie ever made on any movie. And then Paranormal Activity won. I'm pretty sure, right? It was, like, the #1 movie that made the most income. Was Saw.
No, I think the movie that made the most income ever was the Blair Witch Project. That movie was made.
You're crazy. I'm pretty sure it's Blair. Or no. You confused me. Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
I'm pretty fucking positive Saw was up there. Blair Witch I can see because you're literally holding the shittiest camera all the time in a forest.
It was made for like fucking a pack of smokes.
Which
and, like,
I actually literally that is to this day the only movie I cannot watch alone.
It's a fucking
I am
creepy ass movie.
terrified of that movie.
I remember when that movie came out, and there was like a lot of like theories that it was real and
Everyone
stuff.
told me it was real. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you probably told me
I
it
probably
was.
told you that.
So I thought it was real. I was like,
That's the thing. Like at theaters, like they had like donation boxes for the families of the victims and stuff. Like, yeah, they like went all fucking out. It was like, what the hell is this movie? And then of course, and then afterwards, like all it takes is one person to be like, well, how'd they get the footage? It's like, that's a good point.
and then they just put it in a movie. That's kind of weird. It wasn't like the family was like making it into a movie.
I want to make some dollar bills off of this.
You know what? We gotta. Sorry, off topic again. There's this TikTok right now, and it's going crazy. And this girl, her snake died. And it's like this, and it's a huge, largest snake you could think of, and it's her pet. And it's a video of her kneeling over, holding the snake, bawling her like, you are so sad, and you feel bad for the first like 10 seconds. Then you think, did she prop up her phone, press record, go to hold her snake, and then cried?
Yeah, really.
Why is her phone propped? What?
Why is that the first thing you think of?
That's the whole. So everyone was like, I felt bad, but now I'm like, you're an asshole. Like if my cat died, I'm gonna be like, I'd be a fucking wreck. But I'm gonna go prop my phone first, make sure it's properly placed, move my snake to fit in the frame.
I mean,
and then
it's funny, like the way
she's a real, like this is a real video of her like actually have a mental breakdown, and the whole internet was like, what?
It reminds me of a story. There's a filmmaker by the name of Ryan Johnson. He did movies like Brick. He did Looper, but most recently did the 7th Star Wars movie. So, The Last Jedi.
Okay.
Oh, he also
Kylo
did.
Ren or whatever?
He also did Knives Out recently. Yeah, which was a fucking awesome movie. But anyway, he tells a story in one of his commentaries where when he was a baby, he was getting baptized, and so he was right about to be baptized, and then he started choking on something. And his mom was trying to like dislodge whatever the fuck he was choking on. And his dad was grabbing holy water and throwing it on his face and trying to baptize him as quick as possible. And it's very funny, like the mentality of two different people, right? One person's trying to save his life, and the other one's like, because he can't get into heaven until he's baptized.
He can't what?
Get into heaven if you're not baptized.
So he's like, you're gonna die. Shit.
Yeah, I gotta get you fucking baptized. And that's,
God, holy shit, God, please.
And I thought that was a very funny juxtaposition between like two different mentalities. Like one person's like, if you're gonna die, you're getting into fucking heaven, and one person's like, well,
you're not gonna die.
Yeah, why don't we try to save his life? Like that makes more sense. I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, we went a little off topic. That's a hilarious story.
One of my favorite things that I read about the Rocky Horror Picture Show after the fact, I think it's just hilarious. So you know the scene when the doctor, the guy in the wheelchair,
yeah,
he's like getting dragged up to them, and he's like on that little course, and he ends up running through the wall. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Apparently, the only reason why he runs through the wall is because they forgot to build a door. So they're like, well, what do we do? It's like, well, fuck it. I guess it just goes through the wall.
It's like, whatever, okay.
They have the elevator that goes up. They don't actually have a door to it. So they go, fuck, I guess.
Oh, you're so dumb. You didn't think that through.
It's one of my favorites.
You losers. My fun fact about Rocky that I really liked. I love when, I know we just talked about Stand By Me. They just did this. When they tell one person that something's going to happen, but they don't tell anybody else in the cast, they're actually surprised in person, was Eddie apparently under the dining room table.
Oh,
and
really?
Apparently no one knew except for Tim Curry. And Tim Curry only knew because he had to pull the tablecloth off.
Oh, okay.
And it was like his dialogue. But I guess everyone eating at the table had no idea. And they were just like, ugh! And like everyone's reaction was real. I found that to be
I
interesting.
literally watched a movie recently that ripped that scene off.
Oh.
And it threw me off. I was like, did you fucking rip off the Rocky Horror Picture Show for this? It was a movie called 31. It was a Rob Zombie movie. And it's the same thing where they're all eating at a dinner table, and then the buddy rips the curtain off, and it's like the tablecloth, and it's one of their friends in the table that's like all gutted, and they're like, "What the fuck?" It's I don't know. It's like, did you rip off the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
Well, that's how you know it's a cult classic.
That's a good point.
That's how you know it's a classic.
Do you know who the producers wanted for Eddie? Elvis Presley.
Shut up.
What do you think? Better movie? I like Meatloaf personally.
Well, so do I, but I mean, Elvis is pretty great.
This is Bob. Bob is bitch tits.
I love that movie. I love Fight Club.
I actually just saw this fucking this trailer. Actually, it's like it's like if Fight Club came out today, what the trailer would look like, and it's so good. Like the person we get, and unfortunately I don't remember the YouTube channel to give a shout out. I just type in modern Fight Club trailer, and it's I wish I had the YouTube channel just to give a shout out, but it's fucking good. Like I'll show it to you after
It's
we're
that
off camera.
good.
It's good.
I'll check it out. That's awesome.
But
yeah, so we gotta talk about some Spinal Tap.
okay,
now,
yeah. I mean, well, that's the thing. Rocky Horror, you're moving on.
Yeah, Rocky's
good
moving
job.
on, right?
I mean, so you're the better of the. Oh fuck! I keep hitting my microphone. I apologize. You're the better of the cult classic films.
Right.
So Spinal Tap. Let's show you some love. What do you got?
Like Spinal Tap. So I have dug a few things about this movie that I find really funny. It's not about the production, nothing like behind the scenes, nothing like that. But I find them to be like the most comical, like little things in the movie that I've seen this movie now twice. The first time I completely missed it all, most of it. First, we have to talk about their drummer humanly combusted.
Like spontaneously. Yeah.
What? So then there's a last scene, and I actually want to say I watched it again, and I really hope you correct me if I'm wrong. The drummer combusted at the end.
Yeah, he does.
So they had two drummers that spontaneously combusted.
And then a new dude just fucking appears, doesn't
in
he?
Korea or Tokyo or whatever, yeah.
A new dude just runs up and he's like, oh, and he's the new drummer. Like,
I found it so funny. So then there have been, by the way, 37 people in their band. I was laughing. My boyfriend was cooking in the kitchen, and there was one sentence that was said, and it was, and he knows I'm like a super, like, serial killer fanatic. I know, I'm not crazy, okay? And all he heard was this sentence, and then he goes, what are you watching? And it was, yeah, we tried to make a Broadway show of Jack the Ripper, but it didn't go well. And Dylan's like, what are you watching? How? Okay, let's talk about it. How are you going to put a happy song spin-off Broadway show about Jack the Ripper? Yeah. Please let me know, because this is brilliant.
Well, I mean,
it would have to be like a Sweeney Todd.
I was gonna say, yeah, Sweeney Todd
has happy love songs. It has different levels of feelings. It's not always gray.
I feel like Jack the Ripper could have been in love at one point. Maybe he did it for love.
He didn't. I've seen every documentary.
We should write a Jack the Ripper love story. We should just like, The Ripper! A love story.
A love story. I found that sentence to be amazing. And I missed it the first time, and I thought it was amazing. So there's this one scene that I found very, very entertaining. And he's showing the interviewer his guitars, and he has like 40 guitars in the room. And the interviewer's like, do you use all of these guitars? And he's like, yeah, no, I mostly just like looking at them. And then he points at a blue one and he goes, this is my baby. It still has the tag on it. And the interviewer goes, oh, is that it? And he points, the guy goes, don't touch it. And it's Nigel. Don't touch it. And he goes, all right, I was just pointing at it. Don't point at it. Don't even look at it. We're carrying on. And just the interviewer was like, yeah. And he's just, I thought it was brilliant. But when you watch the scene, you have to watch the scene. The interviewer, you could tell, he's just like, all right, man, I'm just fucking going with you. Like the tiny sandwiches part. Okay? Like that is what I mean. The interviewer is just, but that was the manager. But they're just thrown into these like See, I can't fold it. I can't make it bigger. It can't be a bigger sandwich. See what I mean? And the manager's like, yeah, I get it. What the fuck?
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, you hear stories of like rock stars demanding weird fucking things, like
Oh my
like
God.
bowls of like Smarties or M&Ms, but like only particular colors, like stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck?
Kevin Hart has always made that joke, and I don't know if it's real or not, because they're like a lie detector test, and he's like getting whatever his test done, and they're like, "Do you ask for anything weird in your green room?" And he's like, "No, I'm not weird. No, Skittles." Red Skittles, to be exact. And he goes on to be funny. And I'm like, but he has a lie detector thing on. Does he actually ask for Red Skittles?
I was gonna say, well, at least Skittles taste different, but I don't think they do actually. Now that I think about it.
They do, yes.
Do
they have different flavors.
Okay.
You're thinking of M&Ms. M&Ms.
Yeah, M&Ms don't for sure.
Yeah.
So
No, Skittles are all different because my favorite is red, which is hilarious.
if you were a famous rock star and you got a green room, what would you have in your green room? What's the most demanding thing you?
Coca-Cola. That's all I drink.
I want a basket of kittens to like
Imagine.
cuddle with, and then I need at least 2 boxes of anti-allergy pills so I could withstand the kittens
My
as they
God.
love my face.
My boyfriend's best friend is so allergic to cats, and he comes over, he just lies on the couch and just lets them crawl all over him, and we're like, dude, not gonna say his name, but like, I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, like, it's fine, I'll put them in the room. Don't put them in the room, they're cute. And he'll just pet them all day, and then he's leaving and his face is so swollen. But yeah, at Basket of Kittens, I would love your manager. Your manager is just like calling the city ahead, like,
It's like, yeah, he wants kittens.
can I have a basket of kittens, please?
It doesn't fucking matter what they look like.
I don't think I would be that person. I'm trying to think of something. Coca-Cola for sure. Like, there is no argument.
Seagram's rye has to be there.
You love Seagram's.
I'm a big fan of
It's a
Seagram's.
Canadian whiskey, by the way, for those of you who don't know.
Big fan of it. It's like, well, I mean, that's the thing. People from the States would probably know it better as Seagram 7. So 7 and 7 is a pretty famous drink.
Is what?
Seagram 7?
Seagram 7? It's the same thing?
Not
Is it
really.
like 7 spices?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck the 7 stands for. Probably.
Okay.
7 herbs and spices.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know.
It's got rosemary and love.
Dude, don't even. I bet you it does.
Black
I see a
licorice
bottle
and stuff.
right now. I can go grab it and see what's in it.
No, I don't know. I don't know what the 7 stands for, to be honest with you. But 7 and 7 is a drink that's pretty famous.
Yeah.
There, so it's like,
Well, I know. I've heard of 7-7 before because I'm in the bar industry, right?
yeah,
But I don't know what the hell it meant. I just probably made up something.
Seagram 7 and 7 Up.
I probably just made something, hoped it tasted right. Because I'm that bartender.
Like-
you know the bartender that's like, can I have a Burt Reynolds shot? I'm like, fuck yeah, you can. It's the best shot ever. And I go in the back and I Google it. Like, I know what a Burt Reynolds is, but you get my point.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I actually just learned, fun fact, what a polar bear is. I know what a polar bear shot is. I didn't know polar bear was a cocktail. It's vodka and milk.
What?
I did not know that. Apparently it's a thing. And I've been in the bar industry for like 10 years. I'm the worst bartender ever.
I love it if someone's like, I want a 7 and 7, and then you're like, here you go, sir. And then they take a sip of it, they throw it back at you.
It's like a vodka
And you're
soda.
like, this is Canadian Club and Sprite. I wanted Seagrams and 7-Up.
Seagrams and stuff. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. It was the wrong bottle. I got you. Yeah. That's fucking funny.
That's disgusting, though. Vodka and milk.
Vodka milk, apparently it's a thing.
Listen,
So a
'cause I know
polar
there's-
bear shot is half mint
Yeah,
and half cacao.
Yeah, chocolate. Yeah.
That is what the shot is. That's why I was just... Someone was talking in an interview and they were like, man, I would love a polar bear right now. And someone said like... It was probably like one of those hot chip challenges or whatever. And they were like, I don't have any vodka. And they were drinking milk. And she's like, man, I would love a polar bear right now. And then I Googled it and it was actually vodka and milk.
Ew.
Well, I mean,
I
drink
mean, White Russians.
White Russians.
And I guess the only
I get it. The
difference is
Kahlua does make a difference, though.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, it's a coffee, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just straight up milk and vodka. That's like when the Kahlua runs out and you're already like 8 white Russians deep. You're like, Mama didn't raise no bitch. And then you start drinking polar bear. You don't just drink polar bears. I'm sorry if you do. I'm sorry. Okay. But it's not for me.
I mean, I like
drink vodka seltzers. I'm like the worst person to be talking on this subject. I drink literal carbonated water that tastes like fruit. Okay. Anyways, Final Tap. Yeah, I'm sorry to see you go. Like, the movie was okay. I don't think I will rewatch it again.
Yeah.
But I did find some parts were funny.
I mean, it's a very... The problem is it's too real. That's, I think, a lot of people think it's hilarious. I think it's one of those movies where you either think it's hilarious or you don't think it's funny at all. And I might fall on the latter side only because it's like, it's so real.
Like the girlfriend being the manager, that's real.
It's something that would fucking happen.
That's real.
The fucking...
Like, oh, she should help you, she should co-manage. And it's like, what? Why?
There are a lot of funny fucking scenes though, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Or like she was like doing a bunch of drawings that were like examples for the new cover. Yeah. And the guys were like, what? And it was the boyfriend and her trying to explain to them why it'd be perfect. And it's just... What? Like, that is real. You're right.
100%. I do love the fucking Stonehenge. That's probably the funniest thing. Like,
dude, that killed me. And then, like, the small people dancing beside it. It's like in the elf costumes. It's like, holy shit. That's what he said. It said 18 inches. Yeah, I died. I was like, oh my God.
I think that's a good one.
I do feel, now that I like rewatch it, I do feel bad because like in the beginning, their stadiums were so large. And then by the end, they only had like 40 people there.
Playing in a fucking airport at one point.
I know. I felt really, and then the whole movie, she's just like, that one fell through. This one fell through. And I was like, oh, these poor guys. Like that is, but you're right. That's real.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they put out a new album and they were famous again.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, that one part, that was where the sad part was they were listening to the radio. Spinal Tap, where are they now? And they were like, oh, no. Like, they knew that at that point.
No, it's true. Even like, it's a joke in the movie, but the idea of a band having like fucking 30 members, that's really not all that strange. Like, there's a lot of bands that like, I can't remember what band it was, but there was one band that like between album 1 and 2 had like 5 fucking guitarists.
The Gorillaz right now. The Gorillaz.
Yeah.
Their last album.
But the Gorillaz are meant to have like a collaborative thing though, where every album is a completely different band, right? But like, even like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, for example, had like within their like career, like at least 2 drummers, maybe 3. They've had like 4, maybe 5 fucking guitarists. Yeah. Like, so.
And then you come up to bands like Slipknot and Mushroom Head who have 9 members,
15
members.
fucking guitarists.
Yeah.
On stage at one time.
No, back off. They have like 2 guitars, but they have like 5 drummers.
And they got one guy in the mosh pit.
Always.
One guy headbanging.
In Mushroom Head, that's Stitch. Stitch would always leap forward and knock people out by hitting them with their boot. He got in trouble for that really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so you're right though. This is normal. This is normal though. Like having the larger band now, the larger band members.
Yeah.
That's real. Again, this is real. This is what happens.
And that's the thing, especially like
people don't human combust, but
yeah. I mean, that's a thing that happens
twice in our lifetime.
No, it's a fun movie. It actually is fun. Yeah, it's good. I really like it. I think Rob Reiner crushed it with by directing it. Everybody's good. I think it's fun too. Like, I don't know, like the fact that there wasn't really much of a script. It was just like all improvised, right. And it was just like all these guys trying to be funny, trying to one up each other. I always find that really fun, and I think the movie worked.
You can tell they actually get along too, which is nice.
Yeah, 100%, right? So, no, I'm sad to see it go, but
against Rocky Horror though, come on.
Rocky Horror is a good fucking movie, and it's. I don't even know if it's a fucking good movie. Rocky Horror is just a beast in itself. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's so interesting. That's what it is.
And I just said that at the very beginning. I just went, it's so interesting.
Yeah. So.
That's all I can. I don't even know if I like. I haven't told myself yet if I like it or not. but I want to rewatch it again already. Like, that's what it's doing to me.
Yeah.
It's like the oddest movie ever. But yeah, so obviously that carries on. Spinal Tap, I'm sorry, but
These things happen.
it's the energy. The energy is nuts against Rocky, and it would have to win.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's it. See you next week.
Bye, 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 bye.